The Pacers still playing on their home court in this one. Guys, what a terrific start to the season. They've really been getting it done early.
I think for the Pacers, I think they've lived up to their billing this season, that's for sure. It doesn't look like they'll be slowing down anytime soon.
I'd go even one step further. From what I've seen.
Hanlon.
Well, guys, Karl Anthony Towns has a different...
Outstanding, D.A. Thank you. Domantas Sabonis, the son of the legendary Arvydas Sabonis. Bill, you saw Arvydas play. I was impressed with his game and called a lot of his games. When you think back to the time that the elder Sabonis was in the game, what do you remember?
Much. I mean, we saw Sabonis at the end of his career, the equivalent of seeing like Dwayne Wade on the Miami last year or something. Sabonis in the 80s, by all accounts, was the most talented center, maybe other than Bill Walton, that we've seen for all-around centers. I still
That's
think,
quite a statement.
Yeah, I think Kareem, just for physical skills and the stuff he brought to the table, is still number one. The skyhook is the greatest shot of all time. But Sabonis was like, could shoot from the outside. He was a Bill Walton-type passer, incredible rebounder, huge. Probably had the biggest head I've ever seen in person.
Huge.
It was just this big granite block of a head. And unfortunately, you know, we didn't have League Pass back then. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't really have any way to see these guys. So you just kind of heard about the legend of Sabonis. And now you think about fast forward to 2018, Luka Doncic comes into the lottery, and we've all watched him. You go on YouTube, you can watch the EuroLeague finals on NBA TV.
Right.
And I have opinions on this guy. I had no opinions on Sabonis in the mid-'80s, just what people told me.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Minnesota, Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Karl Anthony Towns is out there with Hernan Gomez, and it's Teague at the one.
I'll tell you, Domantas Sabonis has got some big-time athleticism. That's a pretty dunk.
And Teague's got the ball here for Minnesota. It's a three-point game. And discussing Sabonis and his unusual qualities, Bill, he had a vision game that played right into the way he operated. He saw so much of the floor.
Right, and was a sick athlete in the 80s. His knees and his feet started going on him, and he was a little like the Bill Walton thing. He was almost too big for basketball, but by all accounts,
His
just
game
had the five-tool player.
AI, no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
This is exactly what you hope for from your point guard, Jeff Teague, unselfishly pulling all the right strings.
AI kicks to Sabonis. Back to AI. Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns, and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the three ways of I'm getting to know you. What are the three things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other two things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And you know, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
Here's Towns. The kick out to T. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Hernan Gomez. And that comes off the assist by Jeff T.
Boy, the offense is really clicking. 4 for 5 from the field to start. Nice.
AI outside. That doesn't fall either. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight. Wiggins finds Hernan Gomez. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Miles' turn.
Well, we called this, Kevin, high IQ and good instincts for the game. And these things Willie relies on to succeed at this level.
He doesn't get the second one. Pacers trail by 3. And Butler sends it back.
Boy, though he'll never be a blocks leader, Butler has the size and hops to do more of this.
Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close-range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
Here's Turner, and it's good from the elbow. Turner's got his first points of the night.
Look, Kevin, Miles Turner has great versatility, so he can score from anywhere, but right there is his bread and butter.
Towns, the pass to Teague. And a miss there on the triple. The Pacers have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. It's stolen by Teague. Now here comes Teague, leading the break, and the dunk by Towns.
The big cat climbs up and flushes it home.
Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is gathering for a play-in tournament, maybe for the last 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 07. I called it the entertaining as hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination. And then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is you have the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference, and then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10. You have 8 versus 9. You do it over the course of a couple days. You use the TV revenue from that, because you could get good money from that, to maybe shorten the season. Which would be, for me, the #1 thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70-game season. You could talk me into 76, but there's too many games. If there's too many nights where the players... I just think basketball is really hard to play.
Teague kicks to Wiggins. Down low. It's Butler that time on the assist by Wiggins.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
We were talking about the length of the NBA season and various opinions on shortening it. I suppose, Bill, one argument is that you want regular season games to be more significant, and you want that regular season to mean something.
Mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
Make the pace, I don't know. When you get after the All-Star break, you can really feel these guys slogging through it. You know, and especially with the good teams, like a team like Golden State, all they did all year was whine and complain. Oh, well, we knew this could be a hard season. It can't be that hard. You have 4 of the best 20 players. Like, settle down. I think you'll be fine. You're winning every game by 30 points.
Yeah.
But I wish they would tighten the season.
Towns finds Teague. Got a hand on it. Anderson passes to Ayon. Bill, it's interesting. More than 50 colleges and universities now offers scholarships in esports. I did not know this, and that number is probably only going to go up.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. What's more popular, esports or water polo? No offense to the water polo players, but come on.
These kids love it. They cannot get enough of these games.
No, every college should have esports.
Teague kicks to Wiggins, pass to Towns. Plays it up and banks it in. Towns has got 7 points.
Well, the body control of Karl Anthony Towns, just a terrific job to take the hit.
The kick out to Oladipo. AI outside. Pass to Sabonis. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul. Some changes for Indiana. Johnson comes in for Anderson, and it's Reed in for Victor Oladipo.